Yeah, all right. So for those of you critics who watch every morning and say, why doesn't McMahon retire? It's because I don't want to. Has nothing to do with whether I could or not. Can you? Here's somebody who's going to be talking about your retirement and possibly mine. Eric Palmer, who is a financial educator, Outlook Advisors from Fountain Hills. How many Americans really are prepared for retirement, Eric?
Not as many as we'd like to think.
Well, when you're talking about retirement, though, it's almost a necessity that we are prepared, but it seems as if people wait till the last possible second.
Wait till the last second, or we're just not saving enough at this point, given what we're facing in the future as far as cost, inflation, and a lot of the other obstacles that we have to get over ahead of time.
If we haven't started by now, what do we do?
There's a couple of different things you can do. Well, something that's really interesting is there's a statistic out there that says about 10 to 20 years into retirement, you're potentially going to run out of money. So we really want to look at what can we do right now as far as savings. Look at those things that we're spending our money on now. I think there's a stat out there, 93% of baby boomers are helping their children right now with financial expenses. There's another stat about 71% are helping their kids with college tuition. So first off, those are big expenses right now that are actually affecting your cash flow. So let's take a look at that, do some research. Let's find out how we can reduce those costs, because the money you save with that type of stuff is things that you can put away in savings for retirement.
My wife and I started a system a long time ago. After the kids got out of college, we just talked to each one of them individually and said, now you're on your own.
Right.
And we're going to spend our money on us. Is that selfish, or is it a good idea?
I'd say 50-50. It's absolutely okay to focus on yourself, especially when it comes to retirement. We don't work for 30 to 45 years to do nothing but sit around the house. So you got to be a little bit selfish, but it's also okay to help your children. There's just different ways that you can seek education and advice to make sure that those expenses aren't out of control. So do your homework. Let's find a way to reduce the cost of college tuition so that if you are helping your kids, it's not as big of an impact on the savings you could be putting away for retirement.
All right, so if I come into your office, what do you do for me?
Homework. That's the biggest thing. First off, we have to take a look at what your budget is. What are you spending right now? And how can we make your retirement paycheck look as close to that as we can, because we don't want you to have to take a step backward. Then we started looking at, where are you saving your money? Are you diversified? Are you overexposed to market volatility? I think we saw what happened in 2008. A lot of people couldn't retire, although they had planned to, because they took a big hit to the 401k or the retirement account.
As a financial educator, do you have a specific age that you recommend people start saving for their retirement?
The day they get a job.
Ah, but what happens, though, when we also have those added responsibilities that nobody ever thought about, like, for example, tuition? Mm-hmm. You can help your kids out without overindulging them, but helping your kids out anymore is almost a break the bank kind of a situation.
Absolutely. Everybody has a different budget in mind. Sometimes it's an extra $50 a month, sometimes it's an extra $1,000 a month. Everybody's different. So we sit down and we look at, what can you afford, what can we squeeze out of that expense that you're currently having every single month, and where can we put that so that it's safe and secure and creates a retirement paycheck for you.
Well, you were talking about the boomers. What about now the millennials? Are they paying attention? Are they listening? Are they, in fact, even thinking about the future?
They are thinking about the future. We did some research and we found that actually millennials are very concerned about retirement and long-term care, but they're not really doing a whole lot about it at this point. They're scared of the market. I think there's a lot of undereducated individuals out there that just don't know what to do. So in a sense, they're sitting on the fence.
The really sad picture, of course, is the individual or the family who does run out of money in the later years. What do they do? What's there for them?
You depend on Social Security and you make some sacrifices, and that's what we try to avoid. We want to make sure that if you do your homework up front, you can save more money right now, and then look for different ways to take distribution and different type of vehicles to invest in. It doesn't all have to be in the market, doesn't have to be in a qualified plan. You can use things like a Roth IRA, life insurance, annuities, different things to help you create guarantees, avoid some taxation, and hopefully create a little bit more secure income than your Social Security in retirement.
Is it ever really too late to start?
It's not too late to start, but the older you get, the harder it is for us to reach your goals, and so the earlier the better.
I don't know whether anybody's told you or not, Eric, but I already have my own goal, and I haven't even been to your office. My goal is to retire with a lifetime supply of Mexican food, and I'm going to start Coming up next with Los Sombrero.